The following takes place between lunchtime and snack time as an intense heatwave hits the UK. Events occur in real heat.
Hello and welcome to BitTech, and the review of this, the Asus Republic of Gamers Chariot Gaming Chair. £100 extra for RGB, and they can't even give you a power bank. ridiculous. But that besides, with a total price tag of £500, Asus are really aiming at the top premium end of gaming chairs. But when I first saw pictures of it and saw that it had RGB, I thought, oh god, this is going to be awful. Then it arrived and I tried moving the box. I say tried because it weighed an absolute ton. Luckily my fiance was around to help me get it in the house and upstairs, otherwise I really would have struggled. Then when coming to build it and I got it out of the box and got to look at it in the flesh, actually didn't look too bad, and it certainly was pretty hefty. The total chair without power bank weighs 27.8 kilograms. Building it was a pretty easy affair. The instructions were straightforward and they provide you with all the tools that you need to build it, just 2 sizes of Allen key. They also had a really good instructional video that I'd watched beforehand, so it didn't take me too long. The only bit I had a bit of trouble with was getting the seat onto the base, mostly because of the weight and I can't really lift heavy things at the minute. But it was much easier to lie the seat on its back so you could see where you were putting the lift, and then move the feet and lift to the chair section. Once constructed, I think it looked alright, pretty sharp. When I turned the RGB on, it came on as static red in the Republic of Gamers colours, so I honestly don't think it looked too bad. I was expecting more RGB on the chair, like all down the sides and stuff around the base, so I think they kind of got the amount of lighting right on the chair. Now on the chair itself, starting at the top, we have an adjustable memory foam headrest that can be slid up and down to get to your correct head level. Then, as you might be able to hear from the Velcro, there is also a memory foam lumbar support. It works very well. It's a really nice height and foam firmness to cushion the curve of your back very well. But it does have a habit of sort of coming away a bit because the Velcro is on an angled edge of the cushion, which is a bit weird, and it gets a bit annoying at times if you're shifting about to get comfortable and it crunches all the time. Next up, we have these 4D armrests. That's right, your armrests can travel through time, which sounds wonderful, but it's quite annoying when you're trying to film B-roll and they keep disappearing. What this really means is that there are 4 different ways in which you can move the armrests. So they move forwards and backwards, side to side, they lift up and down, they also pivot inwards and outwards. Now I originally thought the pivot amount was a bit too much. I would have preferred something slightly less angled, especially if you're using a smaller keyboard. But actually it puts your hands in the perfect position for using a controller and is probably what it's really intended for. You can also set how far apart the arms are. It's a little awkward to do once you've got the chair together, as the levers underneath kind of get in the way of the Allen key. So I would suggest before you put that lever mechanism onto the bottom of the seat, have a little sit in it and see how far apart you'd want the armrests and set them before constructing the rest of the chair. As with pretty much every office style chair, there is a gas piston so you can adjust the height, and the lever on the right hand side does that. The lever on the left is for the tilting mechanism. You can have it so the chair free floats and moves about with you, and then there is a spindle underneath for you to tighten or loosen that to give you more or less resistance. Once you lock it, it does rock about a little bit, which is a bit annoying. If I want a chair locked in a position, I wouldn't want it to move at all, so I found that annoying. And you also can't have the seat tilted forward at all. That helps relieve pressure under the legs and can reduce fatigue. So I thought that was a bit of a missed opportunity there. Most office chairs will tilt quite severely forward to help with that. The chair has a massive 145-degree recline. So you can just recline the back and lie back a little bit, or if you tilt the seat back as well, you're basically horizontal and you can have a quick power nap. The chair is clad in high density cold cure foam, which might sound like something Heston Blumenthal has cooked up, but is actually what keep your bum and back comfy. The chair is then clad in PU leather, i.e. not real. But it is nice and soft, and it's also breathable because they've put perforations in the seat and up the back. The fit and finish is pretty decent for the most part, with some nice red Republica Gamers stitching around the chair. My chair had a bit of a loose stitch in the middle of one of these seams on the seat. It just seemed as though it had pulled a little bit, just a little bit loose, but through getting in and out of the chair, that's then come completely out, as though the stitching was started or ended in the middle, which was a bit strange. It's also a bit annoying, and if you spent £500 on a chair, it's not something that I would be willing to accept and would have to return it. Underneath all this is a fully steel frame, which gives it real strength and is where all that weight comes from. It should also give it excellent durability. That's then supported underneath by a lightweight aluminium alloy base. It seems like it could have been the other way around, where they used that alloy for the main frame and steel underneath to give it some extra sturdiness, but God knows how much that would have cost. Between those two is a Class 4 lift, which is the top class of these gas piston lifts. Although Asus don't specify exactly how much weight it can take, it should be in the region of 23 stone. Then right at the bottom we have the wheels. They're coated in polyurethane to protect flooring surfaces. They have a braking mechanism on every wheel. I don't know why. I can't think of a reason I would want to lock my gaming or office chair in a specific position, and they're quite easy to knock on by accident, and then you want to move the chair and it makes it really difficult. The center section of the wheel that doesn't move also goes quite low down. I've got a really thick carpet in here, and it makes moving the chair about awkward in general anyway. So if you do have a thick carpet, that's something to consider. Maybe get a desk, one of those plastic desk mats. The back of the chair is clad in a carbon fibre effect plastic, which looks fairly nice. This then has two fake racing harness straps down the back of it with a Republic of Gamers cybertext motif on them. In the full context of the chair, they don't actually look that bad. These have small loops near the top of these straps from which you can hang your favourite gaming gear, Asus say. They also say that you could hang your rucksack from them, but once again they don't give you anything to hang with. Like, I had to go and get a hook from my kitchen that I used to hang my utensils with. So as well as your own power bank, you're going to have to factor in buying your own hooks if you want to use that. There's then a third shorter strap in the centre of the back, which uses a Velcro loop, which is a little easier, and it has a wider gap to it, so you can add things like wireless headphones maybe. But really, do you want to be hanging stuff off the back of your chair? Particularly when you're sitting in it. If you move about, that's going to swing around and knock into the chair and just be a general annoyance. It's an RGB gaming chair, Asus. Nobody's going to really mind that you've put some fake racing straps down the back of it. It kind of looks cool. Just accept that they're there for aesthetics and stop tacking pseudo features onto these things just to try and justify them being there or to justify the price. And that brings us nicely to, or rather not nicely, to the party feature of this chair. It's RGB. And I'm still absolutely astonished that for the price and the extra £100 for the RGB feature, that you don't get a power bank with the chair and have to provide or buy your own. That's something you're going to have to factor into the cost of the chair if you want that feature. As I said earlier, an RGB chair sounds kind of tacky, but it has been implemented fairly well and it's not overbearing. You've got a infinity mirror behind the shoulders here on the front, and then an ROG logo on the back of the headrest. That's all controlled through a unit on these sides here that has a open metal clasp that loops through a woven bit of mesh, and it looks like you should be able to unhook it for easier access. But this unit has absolutely zero slack in it and you can't actually get it out. If that's by design and that's just the method they secure it to the chair, I think that's a bit short-sighted. It would be far easier if you could unhook it, as it's a little awkward to manipulate in situ. If that's another quality control issue and I should be able to remove it, then that's another poor show from Asus. The controller has 4 buttons. One switches between these 7 lighting modes of rainbow, breathing, colour cycle, wave, yo-yo, strobing and static. Holding the button for a few seconds then turns the LEDs off altogether. Then there's a button to change the colour in the breathing, strobing and static modes. There's only 8 colours to choose from and one of them isn't white. It's sometimes a little hard to pull off with RGB lights and it looks slightly bluish, but it's a shame that it's absent. And I'm also a little surprised there isn't a USB cable that you can hook up to your computer and control the lighting through Asus AuraSync software. But God knows how much that would have tacked on to the price. There's then a button to switch between the 3 brightness levels and a final button for the 3 speeds of the animated RGB modes. It's kind of stupid, but the kid in me really likes it, at least with the static red in, so it matches the rest of the chair. Especially if you're doing streaming or something like that, it's just a little bit of extra pizzazz to pull you out of the crowd. But every time I looked back on it when leaving the room, it just brought a smile to my face. With the 20,000 milliamp battery that I used, it lasted about 36 hours in full brightness, full speed in the rainbow cycle mode. The most important aspect of a chair though is the comfort, and in that regard it succeeds quite well. The seat is very comfortable, the back cushioning is comfortable, the lumbar cushion is a little awkward to get into position because the Velcro can catch when you don't want it to, and it also has that annoying habit of crunching around because they've put the Velcro on angled surfaces, which I just can't explain. Surely that's something you pick up in testing, but it's comfortable nonetheless. As for long-term comfort, it's not really something I can attest to. I'm well known amongst my friends for my childbearing hips, and 18 months of lockdown have only added to my hipular fortitude. That combined with some nerve damage from a hernia operation gone wrong a few years ago, the side bolsters on the seat pushing into my hip caused me quite a bit of pain. There is actually a wide-seated version of this chair which probably would have been more suitable for me, but you can't find that anywhere in the UK at the minute. I did, however, get my fiance to sit in the chair for a couple of hours while we watched some programs. She found it easy to adjust to her liking from my positioning. She said it was very comfortable to sit in for a long time, and she also fell asleep at one point, which proves its power nap capabilities. So it's really adjustable, it's really comfortable, and as much as I wanted to hate it, I do really like the looks of this chair, at least with the static red on. Not too much with RGB going on, but if that's your thing, then why not? My fiance told me not to write it off beforehand, and she was right, and she's pretty ecstatic that this could be becoming her new gaming chair, and I'm pretty gutted that my fat ass doesn't fit in it properly.
Hey, I'm not fat, you guys, I'm just kind of big boned. Yeah, that's what they all say.
So if you're considering getting this chair and like me, you have a fair old bit of junk in your trunk, then maybe seek out that wider seat base version. With the steel frame inside, it's really well built and can take my weight fully reclined to basically horizontal and swinging back and forth on it, and it should mean it lasts a really long time as well. It does have a few drawbacks though. The chair still rocks a little when you've supposedly locked it in place. The brakes on the wheels are far too easy to apply without realising. And it's also a shame that this particular one has that dropped stitch. And if I'd spent £500 on this, I'd definitely be returning it for a replacement. I still can't believe you don't get a power bank included for that price. You don't even get some plastic hooks to go into those loops. Like, it's just ridiculous for the price, and I think that's such a shame that it has that blight on it, that you're going to have to add more onto an already expensive chair to fully utilise it. Especially at this price point, that's more expensive than the vast majority of Secret Labs chairs and Noble chairs. And you're also straying into second-hand Terman Miller chair at that price as well. This chair probably has the comfort and build quality to compete with those, odd blemish aside. So really it's down to what you prefer the look of. And the more I look at this chair, the more I do actually like it. Just stop pretending that those fake racing straps are anything but. And give us a bloody power bank, Asus. Jesus. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We've loads more reviews, mods and build logs on the way, so subscribe so you don't miss out on any of that. If you've liked today's review, give it a thumbs up and comment down below what you think of the Asus Chariot chair. What chair do you currently have and what do you like about it, and what would you change about the chair if you could? You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for all your latest tech news and reviews, links of which are down below. Down there you'll also find a link to our Discord server where you can come in and say hello, show us your latest build or mod, or come and talk to us about how goddamn hot it is at the moment. Down below you'll also find a link to our merchandise store where you can pick up a Sweet Bit Tech t-shirt, hoodie or even a mug for your morning cup of coffee. So that's it from me and the Asus Republic of Gamers Chariot Gaming Chair. I'll be back soon with another review, but until then, take care, stay safe and... not again! God damn it. See you then.